how's it going, everyone? Saints fan back again with another GTA 5 Q&A episode. Today we're going to be talking about answering some of your guys' questions about some stuff in GTA Online. So hopefully you guys enjoy. If you have your own question you want to ask for a future episode, just go on Twitter and tweet it with the hashtag AskSaints. Really simple to do. First up, from Leo. I have $2.1 million. I don't know what to buy. Should I invest in the CEO? Well, if you don't have an office, yes. The office, like having an office, is probably the single greatest thing to own in GTA Online. After that, probably either a Buzzard or maybe a Hydra if you're good at flying one. But yeah, I would say totally buy a CEO office if you don't have one. I would start with the least expensive, the $1 million one. And you don't really need to add too much to it. I mean, maybe if you want to spawn there, add the bed. But apart from that, there's not much. I wouldn't go wasting money because you're not going to be really spending much time in it. You're just using the office for all the features it brings. So yeah, I would definitely spend it or invest in the CEO, because from there you can either get a cheap warehouse or a cheap vehicle warehouse, and then you can do either crate missions or import-export missions. I would recommend the import-export ones just because they're a lot more fun than the crate missions, but that's just me. Maybe you have a different opinion on that. One thing I will say, don't spend it all, because that's happened to me a few times where I'll have money and then I spend it all, and then I'm left with like only a couple $100,000. And GTA is just not that fun with only a couple $100,000, because we all know there's something else around the corner. So, there's the classic cars coming, which will be really fun, and I'm sure you'll want some money to spend on them. So yeah, don't spend it all. That's my advice, but totally buy an office if you don't have one. So yeah, invest in CEO. That's my advice. Hope it's good. Jobless Saints fan for the win. Do you think the cars in the files are cheap as transfers have ended and less people have modded money? This is an interesting thought, but honestly, are they that cheap? I mean, the ProGen GP1, which I guess is a decent supercar in terms of performance, and I mean, it's got great customization, so that's good. But for 1.2 million, that's a little bit less expensive than the Tempesta. And the Tempesta's up there as one of the best supercars, so I don't think that's really that cheap. I mean, yeah, compared to the T20, the Osiris, the X80, it's cheap, but that might have just been like a little experiment Rockstar were doing with their car prices, because most of the other ones, or most of the recent ones that have come out, they've been fairly inexpensive. And then the other ones, the Sports Classic, they're on par with every other Sports Classic car. They're $700,000 and $900,000, and that's basically what all the other top-end sport classic cars are. So I don't think they're actually cheap. I mean, we're kind of used to maybe the reason you think, or we are sort of thinking they're cheap, is because we're used to the super expensive cars, and now that Rockstar have dropped the prices to make them reasonable, we're like, whoa, what's going on here? But I don't actually think they're that cheap. They're just relatively normal. And as for the transfers, that's something that is definitely possible. They haven't done a ban, or a money sweep. So I don't think you could say, because less people have modded money, because the same amount of people have modded money if their accounts haven't been banned or had the money removed. But it might be something interesting they do if they eventually have some sort of ban wave and they remove the modded money. If somehow we could go back to have a normal economy in GTA Online, that would be like one of the greatest things they could ever do. But it's probably too late for that, so I wouldn't be expecting it. And your other question, do you think we'll get a car tomorrow? So the interesting part about this, and the reason I want to touch on this, is because the event is going through the 22nd, which means that it's not going to be ending on a Tuesday. The 22nd is this Wednesday. And normally, for the past few months, Rockstar have been ending these events and releasing cars on Tuesdays, but it wasn't always like that. I think for some period they released cars on a Thursday, so maybe they're sort of transitioning to Thursday releases, or maybe even Friday releases, because about a year ago they used to do the event weeks every Friday instead of every Monday or Tuesday or whatever they're doing now. So maybe they're extending the event week by a day so they can push the car release back by a day. But I would expect Wednesday, at least by Thursday, we'll get some sort of newswire explaining what the new event is going to be and what car is going to be released. But I actually don't expect it to be coming out tomorrow. I could be wrong, but considering they said the event week ends on the 22nd, I don't think they would release another event week and a car while one event week is still going on. So just be expecting that. I wanted to let you guys know because that's something that I actually didn't pick up when I first read it. I was like, oh, March 2nd or 22nd, that's fine. But then, yeah, it's a Wednesday, so it's kind of strange how they're doing that. So just be on the lookout. Maybe we'll see a car tomorrow, but I'm kind of leaning towards either Wednesday or Thursday. And speaking of the cars, Kaylee, how do you think the Turismo and the Infernus Classics will stack up in the Sports Classic class? Would you rather them be supercars? I definitely would rather them be supercars because as fun as they're going to be to drive in free mode, it kind of sucks that ultimately, I mean, not that I race often, but that's kind of what you compare cars against each other with, how good they are in races. Because if a car's not good in races, you're like, oh, well, it's not that good. Even though, it might have a lot of customization, it might be worth it, it might be fun to drive, it might sound good. But if it doesn't, compete, then it's almost like, oh, I already have a $2 million car. Why would I want to spend another $700,000 or $900,000? So I think I would have rather them been in the super class because maybe they would have been somewhat competitive. Where if they're in the Sport Classic class, you already know they're not going to be anywhere near competitive to sport or supercars. As for how they will stack up in the Sports Classic class, I mean, I'm hoping it'll be good. I have not done any testing. Look out for a video either today, maybe tomorrow, on testing of those cars because modders actually can get them now in online on PC. So, I might see if someone will spawn one of them or two of them in and we can do some testing at the airport. Kajan, why do you think Rockstar decided to add the returning players only content and the dunk of death? Misspelled it there. But yeah, no, I think, it's kind of obvious, really. They're adding it because it's already in the game and they haven't added it to online. Or at least they haven't added some of the returning players content to online. So it makes sense if they are, or if the rumors are true and they are working on Red Dead Redemption 2 or GTA 6 or, whatever the case may be, and there's less people working on GTA Online. Instead of making something completely from scratch, if something's already in the game, why not add it to online, So it makes total sense there. As for, the release of that, because I got a few questions about that. So the rumor or leak at the moment is that it'll be coming with the Infernus, which is, according to FunMW2, the second car to be released after the Hijack Rustin. But I can't give a definitive date on that. It's all speculation. Amit, do you think that the Meriwether clothing will be in the gun running DLC? So this is something I'm actually kind of interested in when it comes to the gun running DLC. I don't know what they're going to do for new clothing because, while there are probably a lot of ideas out there for new military stuff, there's a lot of military stuff already in the game. So I'm wondering what Rockstar, have up their sleeve when it comes to the clothing. Maybe we'll get some actual army stuff. Maybe some of the stuff we saw in the Flight School trailer, maybe they take that from the military guys and actually give it to our characters in online. That would be really cool, but that is definitely one of the more interesting things. I'm looking forward to seeing what gets done regarding that DLC. Brandon, will you be expanding Rockstar Logic beyond GTA 5? So a little update on that series. So yeah, I definitely think I will be. I don't know. I might take a week or so once GTA 5 or GTA Online Rockstar Logic sort of slow down, which we're almost getting to that point, but I definitely want to continue it. Maybe we'll do some old school GTA 4, Red Dead Redemption. Once Red Dead Redemption 2 comes out, I think I'll start it back up and when that game comes out because it'll be really fun to see the goofy stuff that, Rockstar add to the game. So for sure, I definitely have plans on expanding it beyond GTA 5. Martin, speaking of the gun running DLC, what is my most anticipated part? That's a tough one, man. Honestly, I don't know if I have a true, most anticipated part. I guess maybe the bunkers, just to see how or what that even is. Because, who would have thought 3 years ago, hey, you're going to get bunkers in GTA Online? You thought you're crazy. Or, you would have thought that person was crazy saying you're going to get bunkers. So I think that's probably my most anticipated, just to see what it is. And if it's any different from, the stuff we've kind of already got in the game. Raymaster, what or when might you think the DLCs will stop for GTA 5, or will the Gunrunners be the last? And also from Majestic Lemur, do you think GTA 5 will have a big send-off DLC or just end on a regular old DLC? Here's the thing. We always talk about this, but the fact is I get this question asked every single freaking day, man, almost. I'm hoping for a big send-off DLC. Whether that adds, some answers to the Easter eggs and myths going on in single player with the Chiliad, the rumor or the Chiliad mural on Mount Chiliad. Maybe it adds a jetpack, maybe it adds some fun stuff, some retro stuff to the game. I think it'd be really cool to have some sort of send-off But I don't think, people always ask, are DLCs going to stop? Until they announce GTA 6, I don't think DLCs are going to stop. They might slow down, because Red Dead Redemption 2 coming out this year, but I don't think they're going to, ever really stop. Just because so many people play the game, and it's such a different genre from Red Dead Redemption, so even after that game comes out, I still think we're going to see some sort of DLC. And then the final question from Dan, and I want to just ask you guys this. How many of you guys are still receiving free money from Rockstar? Because this guy says, what do you think, what do you think why Rockstar Games gives me for the 5 or 6? Okay, so it's kind of a confusing question here, but I guess he received the $250,000 like 5 to 6 times. He's supposed to know why. I kind of want to know that too, man. I really wish they would give an answer. I know they kind of vaguely stated they were giving out money or doing some sort of, special bonuses for people who sign up for the social club, but it's so strange because on my PC account, my legit account, like when I actually play the game, I have not received it, but on my PS4 accounts, which all you guys know are modded, like I've received it multiple times. So I don't know what triggers it, man, but it's so weird how they're still giving out this free money. I just want to know how many of you guys, one, have even received the free money, and two, how many times? Because hey, I'm not complaining, man. Receiving 250 grand, a few times, that's like $1 million. I could buy you a car. But it's so strange considering they have not said or given a reason as to why. But yeah, that's going to end the Q&A. Thank you all for watching. Please drop a like if you did enjoy, subscribe for more awesome GTA content, and as always, I'll see you guys in the next one.